And, I
Mhm.
was in the retail business prior to starting, Global Gas, the wholesale business.
Okay.
I worked for my dad's retails. And then when my dad passed away, I was the only kid of four that, was in propane. So I went back and helped my
Mhm.
mom run them. Eventually, I bought them from her. And then eventually I sold them. I grew up in the propane industry, painting propane tanks. I did everything you can imagine from, mowing the grass at the plant, painting,
Mhm.
the bulk storage tanks and domestic
Mhm.
sized tanks, entering data, college breaks,
Mhm.
whatever. I worked for my dad until 89. And then I always wanted to have my own company. So I started a wholesale division, Global Gas. December 89 was one of the coldest Decembers ever on record. And that was
Okay.
the, that was, I started December 1st when it was mild. And by December 9th, it was, a huge blown out crisis.
Oh, wow.
And so we were actually trucking propane from Kansas and Texas to the East Coast.
So it sounded like your dad was involved a lot then. So he had a retail and a wholesale
He had a
operation?
retail, he had wholesale, he had an isomerization unit, he was a manufacturer of carburation equipment,
Oh,
he
wow.
had an propane equipment company. So he was involved in a lot of facets of the industry.
Mhm.
Um, and he was a great mentor to me. He was really a big thinker
Hmm.
and really thought outside the box, maybe not so good in details. If
Mhm.
I was, looking back on it, and I am very detail oriented. So I would say that's one thing I did learn is, it's great to have people that think big and think outside the box, but you also have to have people that will, um, really pay attention to the details because especially
Mhm.
in the retail business, I always say retail detail. I'm very heavily involved with NPGA and
Mhm.
I feel like I'm the historian of NPGA, but because I can tell people, why we did things, they look back at things and say, well, there had to be a reason why they did it. Why did we do that? And so,
Yeah.
I'm that person who can say, well, this is why we did it. But I had a very wise professor at TCU tell us that, you have to continue to educate yourself all the
Mhm.
time. And so I really taken that to heart. I read everything I can. I go to every seminar I can. I go to all the meetings I can. I go out and
Mhm.
talk to our customers all the time because I enjoy those
Hmm.
relationships. But that's
Yeah.
how I learn. And so I hope that not only am I the historian to the MPGA right now, but I'm also able to give them new, fresh ideas. Even though I've been
Mhm.
around quite a while. I've been on the board for MPGA board for probably over 35 years.
Okay.
I've been very involved in different committees, but mostly propane supply and logistics.
Mhm.
I was on the task force in 2013-14 when it happened, and then I was on the task force of writing the white paper to try and keep it from happening.
Okay.
Um, I still we have a task force to this day that, of course, now I chair, being the chair of the propane supply and logistics. And
Mhm.
I don't know if you noticed, but it's the first woman that's ever done the propane supply and logistics committee. And part of that is Michelle being the first woman chairperson.
Right.
Then she picks the chairs for the committees, and
Okay.
so I'm happy to do that. I really like it and proud of
Mhm.
it. Um, but we have really good leadership at MPGA today. We have really, really good volunteers. And I don't think the MPGA has ever been this strong personally. So I
Mhm.
have a lot of history with it, but I think just in the last few years, we've really made a lot of strides that we've never
Mhm.
been able to accomplish in the
Yeah.
past.